Welcome to step number 5. Set up more base camps along the way. Hi, my name is Joey Yarber, and I'm your co-host of this empowering training series. We're grateful that you took the time to take your next step in learning how to transform lives and your community. In step number 5, you'll learn how to build capacity for a care collaborative, which is essential for maximizing the collective caring power of your community. How to start community conversations with representatives from different sectors, and identifying community connectors and mobilizing catalyst gatherings. Okay, let's get started. Here's Mike.
Your key challenge will be to create entry points for broader engagement from many different sectors of your community. Your action steps will involve engaging stakeholders from the private, public, and social community sectors in catalyst conversations that can drive collective action. Your measurable results will be a better together civic culture, which begins to emerge and encourages other community stakeholders to join with you on your journey. Step 5 is all about increased cooperation. You will need to identify stakeholders that are willing to work together. Each sector should have its own context or empowering setting for open dialogue and collaborative planning about things that really matter. In our last session, you learned that increased cooperation is vital to creating effective community partnerships. You also learned that increased cooperation can be a catalyst for helping to bring down the walls that separate helping agencies and limit collective impact. As agencies learn to value and respect each other more, a spirit of cooperation can set the stage for commonly shared mission aligned for greater impact. We've also learned in our last session that a care network and a care collaborative are practical ways and a clear sign that helping agencies are working together. These are essentials for developing comprehensive coordinated care. Together, they will maximize the collective caring power of your community. Now I want to share with you how to jumpstart and sustain your care collaborative. This cross-sector group of influential stakeholders will champion the cause for collective community impact. They will also build credibility and vision for a clear, practical, and compelling picture of a desired future that most people want and can make happen, if they want to. Without the powerful guiding coalition of a care collaborative, your hopes in developing comprehensive coordinated care will fall short of success. We have learned that most care networks and care collaboratives across the country start out small, with a small number of advocates. Oftentimes, helping agencies from charitable nonprofits and faith-based organizations are the ones who get the ball rolling. Be encouraged. As time progresses, the value and benefits of care networking will spread across the community by word of mouth and social capital. I encourage you with this phrase: if you build it, they will come. Creating greater awareness and adoption for a care network and care collaborative will take months, perhaps years to develop. But you do not have to sit around and wait for some motivating factor to get people involved. Be proactive and take the advice of George Washington Carver, an American agricultural scientist and inventor. Use what you've got to the best of your ability and do it now. You would be wise not to wait until everything is perfectly in place before moving forward with conversations and plans. Keep in mind that perfect can oftentimes be the enemy of good. Wanting everything to be perfect before moving forward can sidetrack innovation, creating doubt and a lack of motivation. Your journey towards comprehensive coordinated care is transformational. Most of what you experience along the way will be innovative and require new ways of thinking and acting. We encourage explorers to treat aspects of your journey as an experiment in change, progress, and growth. There will be much to discover, lessons to learn, and many surprises that will be refreshing and challenging. To avoid the sidetracking of perfect, Treat every conversation you have with others about care networking as a seed planted in a garden, embedded with hope and promise for a fruitful harvest. We have learned that seeds take time and nurturing to break ground and show signs of growth. Be patient with others who need time to better understand the value and mutual benefits of working together. Building trusting relationships with other stakeholders will calm people's fears about innovative thinking and acting. This will also help to create consensus for collective action. A good way to start building capacity for your care collaborative is to engage in useful research. Identify helping agencies from across your community that could be part of your network and collaborative. Start with the ones that are most familiar with you and share common interests. If you are part of a faith-based community, contact other churches and learn about what programs and services that they offer to individuals and families that are facing hardship. If you are a food pantry, contact other food pantries in your area and discuss ways to work together. Do your best to carve out some time in your busy schedule to get to know the leaders, staff, and maybe the volunteers who serve at other helping agencies. Engage in meaningful learning conversations that ignite passion and energy for community partnerships and collective action. I mentioned this in an earlier session that you and a handful of stakeholders may be the first to take the lead in your journey toward comprehensive coordinated care. Rest assured that there are others in your community that share your same passion for helping others and are waiting for a chance to travel with you. They are waiting for permission to move forward. This permission may be simply a clear, concise, and compelling picture of a promising future that is now possible. And you, along with your initial team, can be the pioneers that lead the way to a promising future that encourages others to follow in your footsteps. John Maxwell, an expert in leadership, once said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." Many times we have made presentations to community stakeholders and learned that different sectors have a different perspective for helping others. Some are more concerned about crisis care, while others are more concerned about long-term recovery. Some are more concerned about not being scammed by those who try to take advantage of compassionate caregivers, while others believe giving is a virtue and should not be limited. We have also learned that some helping agencies exclusively focus on certain needs, like homelessness or food insecurity. But we did discover that despite their unique concerns and focus, most helping agencies want to be part and parcel of a more comprehensive approach to transforming people's lives. We encourage you to find influential leaders in these different community sectors. Find those who are willing to coordinate informal and formal gatherings where the value and benefits of care networking can be explored from their unique vantage points or interests. These can happen throughout a year and build capacity for community conversations about the social, economic, and healthy well-being of everyone in your community. Hopefully, these processes will yield a new context for open dialogue about things people really care about and are willing to do something about it. I have learned there are 3 types of people in the world. There are those who have great vision and step up and make things happen. There are those who, for whatever reason, sit back and watch things happen. And there are those who wake up one day and say, "What happened?" In my latter years of life, I have come to the conclusion that what we do today determines how well our children and grandchildren handle their world tomorrow. I encourage you not to wait until someone else leads the way in making things happen. What would happen if everyone in your community was waiting on others to do something before they got involved? With this in mind, I encourage you to be proactive and create a new context where those who are ready to step up and make things happen can hang out with those who share this same passion. I call this new context catalyst gatherings. These should be designed to jumpstart and develop relational synergism, defined as people working together for greater purposes, realized only through concerted effort. By definition, a catalyst is an agent that provokes or speeds significant change or action. We see catalyst gatherings as warm and friendly get-togethers of innovators, visionary leaders, and civic entrepreneurs who engage in catalytic thinking. These gatherings can be think tanks or brainstorm environments that launch innovative ideas and lasting solutions that address complex community challenges. This can happen as civic entrepreneurs are willing to leverage their collective passion, imagination, and energy that can ignite enterprise that benefits all community sectors. Their knowledge and wisdom can be used to drive transformative processes that keep the wheels of progress moving forward. Out of these gatherings will emerge a constant flow of cross-sector community stakeholders who can serve on your care collaborative that represents your whole community. Another reason for coordinating catalyst gatherings is to identify community connectors, which I call ambassadors of faith and goodwill. They can be on staff at nonprofits, churches, or civic organizations. As I have mentioned in Step 2, they could be a person who frequently volunteers his or her time at helping agencies in your community. A community connector may be serving at an organization as a community impact director, public relations specialist, or resource development consultant. They may be also an executive director of a civic-minded organization, or an elected official who is very passionate about community. Community connectors have a special gift or talent for making people feel welcome and valued. They can be most effective at building trusting relationships among community stakeholders. They are also good listeners, able to empathize with helping agency needs and challenges. They are usually great communicators who can cast vision for the mutual benefits of a better together community culture. On a consulting trip to a city on the East Coast, I had the privilege of seeing a community connector in action. My colleague and I made a presentation to a large group of community and faith-based leaders and government social service providers. When it came time for open dialogue about cross-sector partnerships, there were mixed comments and emotions. At one point it seemed that the whole conversation was headed in the negative direction, focused more on all the problems for getting people to work together. To my amazement, a community connector stood up and cordially thanked everyone for their input, but then shifted the conversation back to reasons why they needed to overcome challenges and find ways to work together. Immediately, the whole conversation shifted back to exploring possibilities rather than problems. Informal catalyst gatherings are a great place for people to make new friends and build relationships. These can be great social gatherings, but they must be a means to an end and not just an end in of themselves. People must find personal satisfaction and true value in attending these gatherings. They must see that these gatherings are not just for getting people together just to talk about problems in your community. These gatherings must transform into purposeful learning communities where people can connect, learn from each other, and engage in the development of collaborative solutions. Learning communities are a great opportunity for people who have great passion for helping others to connect with other caregivers from across their community. In many communities, these connections have strengthened relationships among helping agencies that produce mutually beneficial community partnerships. This dynamic connectivity can also reveal technical advisors or resource people who make themselves available to other helping agencies and your care collaborative. Learning communities can also be a great opportunity for innovative leaders and seasoned practitioners to share best practices, emerging trends, and creative ideas about helping others. Their knowledge and wisdom could help community stakeholders and agencies learn how to sustain and accelerate their missions, making it more efficient, effective, and resourceful. Learning communities can also be a dynamic setting where all participants can engage in lively discussions about innovative thinking and acting, and they can be think tanks for the development of collaborative, lasting solutions. I know I have introduced you to some terms and language that you may or may not be familiar with. My hopes are to paint a big picture look at what needs to happen in order for you to get your whole community involved in maximizing its collective caring power. Base camps are an analogy for a warm and friendly new community context. Here is where stakeholders can meet, get to know each other, and explore innovative thinking and acting that benefits the whole community. We encourage you to set up as many different base camps as possible in the many sectors of your community. This will allow visionary leaders and pioneers to rise to the occasion and make something great happen.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Leadership. Successful collaborations focus on leadership within a network and have multiple core agencies that are prepared to take on leadership within the collaboration should the lead agent or agency decide to relinquish their role or bow out. Engaging core agencies will be very important in the long-term sustainability of the collaboration. The administrator role many times will make or break a network of agencies that's using Charity Tracker. So making sure that you have those agencies prepared is extremely important. In our network in Oklahoma City, we had exactly that scenario. We had the administrator who actually brought the collaboration in to OKC, move out to another city. Here's the great thing. She was prepared. She made sure that she had someone that was both willing and trained to take over that lead role when she left. Having this kind of plan is important. This will ensure continuity and success ongoing. So as you bring Charity Tracker into your community, it's important that multiple people be trained in that leadership role and that your core agencies are engaged and involved. In our next session entitled Step 6, Bridge Gaps and Advance Forward Progress, we'll explore ways to clear obstructions that stand in the way of a successful journey. Hey, thanks so much for taking time to explore this transformative knowledge. If we can ever be of help with more information on this training series or answer a question, we're here to do so. It's area code 256-764-0633. Or you can email me to joey@simonsolutions.com or mike@simonsolutions.com. Thanks so much for being part of this training series.